Hello, musicians. So last week I put out a video where I talked about how I started playing for a recording artist. And so today I wanted to share a little bit more of that conversation. And just a side note, last Friday, the 8th, we released the single for the album that I produced with Ahmad Hall and Friends. And so I'm super excited about it. It's my first album that I produced beginning to end. I've been on a number of albums, but this is the first one I've done from beginning to end and produced it entirely. So I'm really excited for you to hear it. So go check out the single. It's called He Watches Over Me on all the streaming platforms. Go check it out. And so today, what I want to do is I want to share more of that conversation and really share what I think is one of the more important and possibly the most important thing you need to have to play and produce for a recording artist. So let's not waste any time. Let's get started. Okay, as a recording artist, one of the things a recording artist does is record. And so, can you walk us through kind of the process that you went through in preparing to record an album?
So number one, I think that good music requires good writing.
Mm.
So that was the first thing we did. We got together and wrote, you and I and a couple of others, Amanda, Michelle, we got together and we had several it wasn't just a one-time thing, guys, people. It wasn't a one-time thing. We got together several times and worked through a lot of creative inspirations that we each had, and we throw those things together. Like the one that we're releasing, it was actually Corey had a track that he had been working on, and you played it, and we all were inspired by it. And I really felt this whole Arabian, Middle Eastern type vibe. So I wanted to write to that. So that's another thing. I took the inspiration, and it inspired me. What inspired you? You were inspired to do that. Then that in turn inspired me to write to that inspiration. And I mean, it just builds on that. So that was the first thing, writing the music. And I think the one that we're releasing is one of my favorites that we did for that entire night of recording. So we wrote the song, of course, from the track that Corey had done, and we went back several times to restructure it and evaluate it to make sure that it was exactly what it needed to be. That was the first step.
So first is getting together a group of writers to help write. Now, was it writing from scratch? Like, how did you do it? Like, was it writing from a theme? What was the thought process?
It was really writing from scratch, from the track that well, Corey had some vocals, some minimal vocals that he had he's kind of him howling, as we say, over the track. So it kind of gave some thought. But again, as I said, it put me in the mind of like an Arabian type feel, a Middle Eastern type feel. So my mind immediately went to the children of Israel. So I thought about how God protected them and watched over them. And that kind of gave us a theme for the song. And we just kind of wrote it from there. And it just kind of exploded from having that idea.
Yeah. Now, I guess to that point, I think one important tip for musicians is that you got to let go of ego. Go ahead and speak to it. Go ahead and speak to it.
No. I was going to say, you cannot be afraid, because you just mentioned a while ago, getting the group together. You cannot be afraid of collaboration. You cannot be afraid. I'm telling you, because the best work that we receive, I'm telling you, I'm going secular with this, but Earth, Wind, and Fire, that type of Motown, the type of stuff that they got in those eras were because of collaboration. No one person did. You went to Hitsville, Berry Gordy studio up in Detroit, Motown. It was open 24/7.
Wow.
You could go in there anytime and people will be in there playing, and it takes collaboration. And I think God orchestrated that way. Now we can do some songs individually that are great, wonderful, but it always takes collaboration, because guess what? You might just be a writer and you can't sing. So you're going to need a writer. I
Right.
mean, you
Right.
need a singer. And if you're a singer, you may not be a musician, so you're going to need a musician.
Mm-hmm.
You might not be able to produce, so you're going to do. So it's all a collaborative effort, and we cannot be afraid of that. And like as you said, let those egos go.
Right. Right.
Don't be afraid of constructive criticism.
Right. Right. Yeah, and I'll go further and we're gonna dig deep a little bit into this, but the way the song was going, the latter half of the song, just for some reason wasn't working and sitting well. It
Yeah.
just wasn't working, and I had created a couple variations, and it just is it was okay, but
It wasn't it.
it wasn't what the front was, but the back was not. And
Mhm.
so, um, to the point about having not having an ego, Mod plays. He's a fantastic musician as well. And
I
so
don't know about fantastic. I can get you to a service. That's about it.
but he came with the a framework that he had created for the back end, and that so where he talked about one inspiring the other. Well, he came with a new framework for the back end, which inspired everything we did on the back end, and it was a framework. So that was how we came up with the last half of the song was what Ahmad created. And so it'd have been really easy for me to be like, you get in
Right,
your
right.
feelings, but I don't really like it. It isn't good when it was great.
Well, no, and it makes me think about the fact that another aspect of writing and recording, we kind of knew who we were writing for, not just the group, but the lead singer. And she has this, she can holler. You don't want everybody hollering, but she has a holler that everybody loves. She can just go there. So I wanted to create a space for her to do that.
Mm,
So we were, going through the verses, the chorus. I said, okay, we got to figure out a bridge to get us out of here. To get us out of here and go somewhere else. Dun 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 dun. Dun. That, and we got there. Okay, take us into the bridge, and after that, we need to give her a space to really showcase what she does, and that's what we
right,
did.
right. But let's go even further. I'm gonna talk musically. The so so now I've met with the artists and the writers, and we've created a frame. We've created a template for the song, how it's structured, and then now it's taking that frame and presenting it to the band so we can add all the colors, the layers, and make the song be what this frame says it can be.
Mm-hmm.
And so in going to the band, uh I had an all-star cast of musicians, and it's like, well, I'm not the one repository of all information. So
Yeah.
I can take ideas. So one idea came from Eric. Eric said, "Hey, why don't we do this? Why don't we drop the bass drum out right here and hit right here?" Say, "Okay, let's give it a try." And
I
it's like,
remember that
oh,
moment.
that took us to the next level,
Yeah.
and that
Because as
changed the track.
musicians, we're thinking it needs to be all here to build a high place. But it
Hmm.
really, no, he said, take that out and it'll make it high.
Right,
And
right.
it did. So that was great. And I remember going to one of those rehearsals that you had with the band, and no, we're not going to do it this way. Try it that way, and that. And what you all were producing, what was coming out of that room was amazing to me. Like I fell in love, even more so with it when I heard that full band sound on it.
Mm.
And kudos to Mond for being his first recording.
Our
Um,
drummer, our drummer.
our drummer, yeah, our drummer, and I mean the feel he put on this song, it takes it there.
Right, right, right. Mond is an incredible. Well, say his full name so everybody knows what his full name.
Advante Jamond Curtis. So that's what Mond comes from.
Right, right, right. Mond was pretty self-conscious about the fact that this is his first recording, and he has all the skills in the world as a drummer, but was just unsure if he's giving everything that needs to be given, if he's doing it proper. Like he was really, really unsure. So it was a great place to encourage him But I want to encourage musicians and say, trust what God's put in you. Like you
Right.
got the stuff, as my
That's right.
pastor
That's
says,
right.
you got the stuff. So in those practices, um, it was a refining process, which doesn't always feel good. When you have another musician say, "Hey, no, that's not it. Let's do it like this. I need this right. I need this specific thing. This is really important. This hit right here is important. I need you to hit right here. I need you to break in this specific way." And so that bit of refining um, can be difficult to take. And
Right.
so
Right.
uh,
Yeah.
be open, be coachable, and Amand is extremely open and just willing to adjust and to lay the ego aside. It's still related to ego. Lay that
Yeah.
ego aside, and give the artist, the song, the MD, the producers what they need to make this song be what it's supposed to be. And ultimately, Mond went to work on this song. He played it incredibly. Like he was doing so much stuff that was unbelievable. Even on the live recording, he did some stuff I hadn't even heard before. But it was like, yes, that's it. That's what I'm looking for. And it was because of his heart and his willingness to be able to take feedback, criticism, constructive criticism, and make the adjustments. And so, and he's an incredible musician. And we're not talking about no chump change here. He is incredible. That's just one example, again, of how ego needs to be checked to be able to play and produce for a recording artist. So thank you so much for checking out this video. So until the next one, be blessed and happy practicing.